Why do we fall under the illusion that what we know is common knowledge to others? The curse of knowledge. Have you ever heard of the term curse of knowledge? This refers to the phenomenon where becoming knowledgeable in a certain field leads to viewing things from a different perspective than beginners or the general public, which can surprisingly make communication more difficult. In this video, we will discuss what the curse of knowledge is, how it affects our daily lives and businesses, and what we can do to counter it. Whether you already have expertise or are planning to learn, please consider these insights. 1. The psychology behind the curse of knowledge. The curse of knowledge is a phenomenon where having advanced knowledge or skills in a particular field can make communication with others more difficult. This happens because experts have an abundance of information about their field, which can lead them to lose sight of the perspectives and comprehension levels of beginners or the general public. Underlying this phenomenon are cognitive biases and metacognitive issues. Experts tend to assume that the knowledge they possess is common, and they may struggle to consider that others might not share it. This creates a cognitive illusion. Additionally, experts may have difficulty accurately evaluating the scope and limits of their own knowledge, which is known as a metacognitive issue. The curse of knowledge arises from these intertwined psychological factors. 2. An experiment on the curse of knowledge. One example of an experiment on the curse of knowledge is the tapping experiment conducted by Elizabeth Newton of Stanford University in 1990. In this experiment, participants were divided into two roles. One role was the tapper, who communicated the rhythm of a well-known song by tapping on a table. The other role was the listener, who had to guess the song based on the tapping. The results showed that tappers estimated a 50% chance that listeners would identify the song correctly, but in reality, only 2.5% of the listeners guessed the song correctly. This occurred because tappers could hear the melody in their heads and assumed the rhythm alone would be enough for the listeners to identify the song. However, listeners only heard the tapping sounds, making it difficult for them to guess the song. This experiment revealed the curse of knowledge, the tendency to overestimate the extent to which others share one's own information or knowledge. This overconfidence in shared knowledge and information can create communication barriers. 3. Why humans needed the curse of knowledge. While the curse of knowledge may seem to have many negative aspects, it arises because humans needed it to process information efficiently and communicate effectively throughout their evolutionary history. 3.1. The role of shortcuts. The curse of knowledge serves as a shortcut, allowing humans to assume that others also know what they know, simplifying the information transmission process and facilitating efficient communication. It would be time-consuming and energy-consuming to explain all information in detail every time, so communication often assumes some degree of shared knowledge. 3.2. Maintaining social connections. The curse of knowledge also plays a role in maintaining social connections by sharing one's own information and values with others. By assuming common knowledge and understanding, communication becomes smoother, and relationships are more easily built. 4. Situations prone to the curse of knowledge. The curse of knowledge is particularly likely to occur in certain situations. Here are some typical situations where the curse of knowledge is prone to arise. 4.1. Experts explaining to beginners. Experts, who have abundant knowledge in their field, may assume that beginners possess certain knowledge or terminology, and base their explanations on that assumption. This can result in explanations that are difficult for beginners to understand. 4.2. Cultural differences. When communicating with people from different cultures or backgrounds, what one considers to be common knowledge might not be for the other person. In such situations, the curse of knowledge is likely to arise when one assumes that the other person shares the same knowledge and values. 4.3. Communication within an organization. Within an organization, shared specialized terms and abbreviations often exist among people working in the same industry or department. Communication based on these terms can create situations where members from other departments or new employees struggle to understand. 4.4. Communication within a group. In group communication with friends or colleagues, shared experiences and knowledge often exist, making it easier for the curse of knowledge to occur. This is particularly true when a new member joins the group and has not yet shared the same information. 5. Debusing the curse of knowledge. A paper by Burgett H. Johnson and others proposes ways to mitigate the curse of knowledge by examining the differences in knowledge acquisition between experts and beginners, and suggesting ways to alleviate this cognitive bias. Specific measures include 5.1. Understand the other person's knowledge level. Before communicating, it is crucial to grasp the other person's knowledge level and experience. This allows you to tailor your explanation to the other person, reducing the curse of knowledge. 5.2. Use easy to understand language. Avoid using specialized terms or complex language, and opt for simpler, more understandable words in your explanation. This helps to avoid the curse of knowledge and makes it easier for the other person to understand. 5.3. Share information beforehand. Sharing necessary information and knowledge beforehand can help avoid the curse of knowledge. This allows the other person to fully understand the information before proceeding with the discussion. 5.4. Seek feedback. Regularly seek feedback to ensure the other person understands the information. This allows you to gauge their level of understanding and adjust your explanation accordingly. 5.5. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. By considering the other person's perspective, you can communicate without falling victim to the curse of knowledge. Take into account the knowledge and experiences the other person possesses and explain from that viewpoint. Conclusion. The curse of knowledge is a phenomenon where those with specialized knowledge struggle to communicate effectively with those who do not possess the same knowledge. This psychological phenomenon can pose problems in education and communication involving experts. To avoid the curse of knowledge, it is essential to understand the other person's knowledge level, use simple language, and share information beforehand. Also, seeking feedback and considering the other person's perspective allows for more effective communication. Overcoming the curse of knowledge can help make everyday life and business communication smoother. If you found this video interesting, please subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching.